Picture San Francisco in 1903. It's a city of cable cars, bowler hats, and a booming Pacific identity. And it's just 3 years away from being leveled by the Great Earthquake. But in May of that year, the only earthquake hitting the Bay Area was a man named Theodore Roosevelt. TR wasn't just the president. He was a walking, talking force of nature. He was in the middle of a staggering 14,000-mile, 66-day Western tour to sell his vision of a modern America. When his train pulled into the station, San Francisco didn't just give him a greeting, they gave him a spectacle. Today, we aren't just talking about history, we are seeing it because TR loved the camera almost as much as it loved him. This visit became one of the first times a U.S. president's official activities were captured on motion picture film. I've gathered several archival clips from that week, and we are going to step back in time to see the Rough Rider himself in the heart of the Golden City. So why was Roosevelt spending so much time out west? Aside from his famous camping trip with John Muir in Yosemite, which happened right after his stay in San Francisco, this trip was about politics and power. Roosevelt had inherited the presidency after William McKinley's assassination in 1901. By 1903, he was gearing up for his own election and wanted to connect with the frontier spirit he so admired. San Francisco was the gateway to the Pacific, and for a president obsessed with naval power and the new Panama Canal, this city was the crown jewel of the West Coast. While he was here, the itinerary was relentless. On May 12th, he paraded down Market Street, escorted by the Ninth U.S. Cavalry, an all-black regiment of Buffalo soldiers, which was a significant and intentional choice for the time. Sources say this was the first time in the West that black soldiers held the position of honor in such a public event. The troops were led by Captain Charles Young, the highest-ranking African-American officer in the regular army at the time. The Buffalo soldiers were stationed at the Presidio and also served as some of the first national park rangers in California. Roosevelt appointed Young as a military attaché to Haiti and the Dominican Republic in 1904 and recognized his role as the first Black National Park superintendent, where Young managed construction in Sequoia National Park. I had a question about the drawing we are looking at right now. Did Charles Young really rescue the Rough Riders on San Juan Hill? It turns out there is a persistent, popular, but often disputed legend that Young and his troops supported or helped save the Rough Riders during the intense fighting at San Juan Hill during the Spanish-American War. Although they were there, it is not documented there was such a rescue. On the 13th, He stood on Van Ness Avenue to review a sea of 40,000 school children waving flags. He even took a tugboat across the bay to Berkeley to dedicate the brand new Greek theater, telling the students that good citizenship wasn't a favor to the state, but a right he demanded of them. As we look at these clips and watch the grain of the film, keep an eye on the background. You are seeing the old San Francisco, the Call Building, the Palace Hotel, and the Victorian mansions of Van Ness in their original glory before the fire of 1906 changed the skyline forever. I think off in the distance, we are looking at the towering onion domes of San Francisco's oldest Jewish house of worship. The temple sustained serious damage in the 1906 earthquake, but the synagogue was repaired, though minus its distinctive lantern towers and onion domes. The building was replaced in the 1920s and is no longer there. The Emporium, a department store located along Market Street between 4th and 5th Street, was decorated to welcome President Roosevelt. This clip is showing the crowd gathering for the dedication for the Dewey Monument in Union Square on Thursday, May 14, 1903, between 9 a.m. and 9:20. The monument, which is still in place, commemorates the victory of Admiral George Dewey and the American fleet over Spanish forces at Manila Bay, the Philippines, on May 1, 1898. During the Spanish-American War. The monument is also a tribute to the sailors of the U.S. Navy. Ground was broken for the monument by President McKinley in 1901. The dedication of the monument was President Roosevelt's last official act before leaving San Francisco during this trip. Here's a fun fact about Union Square. Union Square was and is the center of San Francisco's retail district. The area was originally a tall sand dune, but set aside as a public park in 1850. It got its name from the pro-union rallies held there on the eve of the Civil War. Approximately 200,000 people crowded the streets and Union Square to see President Theodore Roosevelt dedicate the Dewey Monument. Unfortunately, we can't see him in the crowd. This clip was part of the other parade clips, but the description does not give us any information about it. Roosevelt is giving one of his famous train speeches, but I don't know if they are in San Francisco or if they're leaving San Francisco. If you have any information on this clip, please let us know in the comments. I came across this photo during the parade and noticed something amazing. Above the parade is the historic Nob Hill. The prominent building at the top of the hill is the Fairmont Hotel, a Victorian-era structure that survived the 1906 earthquake before being gutted by the fire. Nob Hill was the home of some of the richest men in the world. Most of their mansions were destroyed in the fire after the earthquake. The mansions were never rebuilt. That hotel is one of my favorite hotels in San Francisco. I have an extensive video about those mansions and the Fairmont Hotel on my Colorado Martini channel. I will put a link to that video at the end of this video. I love and enjoyed these clips because they show San Francisco before it was almost wiped from the face of the earth by the 1906 earthquake and fire. And I hope you enjoyed them too, because they really do give us a rare glimpse into what San Francisco looked like in 1903. Thank you for joining us today. We invite you to watch all our videos, from famous funerals to diving into the archives to find generations of history. And always please remember to be kind in everything you do, including the comments you make.